The moment this story started spreading across social media, every corner of the hip-hop world went completely silent. Because this was not just another industry rumor or a carefully planted gossip piece designed to generate clicks. This was something far more explosive. Something that had been quietly building beneath the surface of the music industry for years, hidden behind record deals, legal documents, and the kind of power that only certain people in this business truly understand. And now, with the arrest of Pooh Shiesty, his father, Big 30, and several others on charges so serious they could put people behind bars for the rest of their lives, the entire situation has cracked wide open. The floodgates are no longer holding. And the first person to walk straight through them with something to say is someone nobody expected to hear from right now. Asian Doll is speaking. And she is not whispering. For years, this Dallas-born rapper moved forward after leaving Gucci Mane's 1017 Records without making too much noise about what happened behind those label doors. Fans knew she had been there. Fans knew she had left. But the full story of what that experience actually looked like from the inside? That remained carefully buried. Until now. Because the Pooh Shiesty situation apparently cracked something open inside her that could no longer stay quiet. And the things she is now saying about 1017 Records, about Gucci Mane, and about the music industry's ugly treatment of young artists from the streets are sending shockwaves through every timeline, every comment section, and every group chat that follows hip-hop culture seriously. Let's start from the very beginning. Because to understand why Asian Doll's words are hitting this hard right now, you first need to understand the case that triggered everything. Pooh Shiesty, one of the most promising names to come out of the 1017 Records roster in recent years, has been arrested alongside his father and fellow rapper Big 30 on charges that sound more like a crime thriller than a music industry dispute. According to the allegations, the group kidnapped and robbed Gucci Mane himself over a conflict rooted in Pooh Shiesty's recording contract with 1017 Records.
Stuck in the cell down there. Bro, we'd have been stuck in the cell down there on the yard, not in.
Let that sink in for a moment. We are not talking about a social media argument. We are not talking about diss tracks and subliminal bars. We are talking about a situation so extreme that a ninth suspect has now been arrested in connection with it. And if a jury ultimately convicts the people charged in this case, the sentences being discussed could mean life in prison. The hip-hop world has been processing this information in real time, and reactions have ranged from disbelief to something that looks uncomfortably close to understanding. Because for anyone who has followed the behind-the-scenes tension surrounding 1017 Records over the years, the idea that a contract dispute could escalate to this level does not arrive entirely out of nowhere. The label has always existed inside a world where the rules of the streets and the rules of the music business collide in ways that mainstream audiences rarely get to see clearly. And that collision is exactly what Asian Doll decided to speak about. It started, as so many of these moments do now, on Twitter. On Thursday, April 2nd, Asian Doll posted something that felt like the opening of a door she had been standing behind for a very long time. "Everybody ain't playing," she wrote. Short, direct, loaded with meaning for anyone paying attention. The comment immediately set off speculation across the platform. People began tagging her, asking questions, throwing theories into the replies. And then things escalated quickly. According to screenshots captured by GotDA Scoop on Twitter, Asian Doll allegedly followed up with messages that went significantly further. Messages that she later deleted, but which had already been captured and spread across the internet before she could pull them back. And what those alleged messages contained was not vague or carefully worded. They were raw, frustrated, and filled with the kind of energy that only comes from someone who has been holding something inside for far too long. If you've never been signed to a label or been signed to 1017, shut the entire conversation down, she allegedly wrote, with language significantly sharper than that directed at people she felt were commenting without any real knowledge of the situation. All you people sound like complete industry servants. But the message that truly stopped people mid-scroll was the one where she got personal. Deeply personal. "They sign kids from the poor ghetto that's active in the streets," Asian Doll allegedly wrote. And then she went further. She claimed directly that she was never dropped from 1017 Records.
We on our own, he signed us and it was just on our own. So I was just like, yeah, this is not what I want to be a part of.
She was not let go. She was not released quietly when her time was up. According to her own account, she had to fight to get out of that deal. She had to push and struggle. Against a label that, in her words, did not want to let her go at all. She also made a claim that many people had not fully registered before. Asian Doll says she was the first female artist ever signed to Gucci Mane's 1017 Records. The first. And she was 19 years old when it happened. 19 years old, coming from Dallas, stepping into a world built around one of hip-hop's most powerful and complicated figures, signing documents she now describes as the worst decision she ever made in her life. That statement landed differently than almost anything else in this entire situation. Because it reframes every success story and every promotional moment that came out of that label in an entirely different light. When she says other female artists signed to 1017 after her were brought in out of spite, the allegation suggests a label environment that used people as instruments rather than investing in them as artists. And when she says she had to fight to get her freedom back, it raises a question that the music industry has faced before and never fully answered. How many young artists from vulnerable backgrounds sign contracts they do not fully understand, and how many of them ever truly escape? Even after deleting some of her original posts, Asian Doll's Twitter presence remained combative and unfiltered. She retweeted a post that said the only person who truly survived Gucci Mane's label was Asian Doll herself. She did not deny it. She did not add context or soften the statement. She simply let it sit there on her profile for everyone to see. Her replies to followers who pushed back were equally direct. When people tried to defend the label, defend Gucci Mane, or question her account of events, she responded with zero interest in diplomatic phrasing. "You might as well go suck the feds," she told one user. "Everybody don't go out a coward," she added, in a reply that carried obvious weight given the context of Pooh Shiesty's situation. And then came perhaps the most complete and damning statement she made throughout the entire episode.
Pooh was always solid, man. After we connected the first time, we were always talking on the phone. And then when he went to jail, I just been...
Addressing the Pooh Shiesty situation directly, she said this: "Gucci held me. I had to fight to get out my deal. Pooh couldn't fight because he was in jail. Gucci was holding on because he could. But the minute that boy got free, he took matters into his own hands." Read that again slowly. Because what Asian Doll is describing, whether she intends it this way or not, is a pattern. A pattern where artists signed to this label found themselves trapped. Where the contract became something heavier than a business agreement. Where getting out required a fight that not everyone was equipped to win through conventional means. She survived that fight through persistence and legal maneuvering. According to the allegations in this case, Pooh Shiesty's response to the same trap looked completely different. Now the internet is doing what the internet always does with information this explosive. People are going back through old interviews, old social media posts, old moments from award shows and industry events. They are looking at the timeline of every artist who passed through 1017 records and asking new questions about what those relationships actually looked like behind the contracts and the press releases. The comment sections are overflowing with people who say they always suspected something darker was happening inside that label. And there are just as many people pushing back, accusing Asian Doll of using this moment to settle old scores rather than speaking genuine truth. But here is what makes her account difficult to simply dismiss. She was there. She signed at 19. She spent years inside that system before she was able to leave. And she is not speaking in vague terms or hiding behind carefully managed PR language. She is telling a specific story about her specific experience, including details like being the first female signed to the label, including the admission that she previously avoided speaking about this publicly, and including a direct connection between her experience and what allegedly drove Pooh Shiesty's drastic response to his own contract situation. That level of specificity carries weight. It may not be the complete picture. It may not be the only version of events worth considering. But it is not nothing. And in a music industry that has spent decades protecting powerful figures at the expense of younger, less connected artists from underserved communities, a story like this deserves to be taken seriously rather than waved away because the messenger used sharp language. The Pooh Shiesty case continues to develop. A ninth suspect has now been arrested. The legal process is moving forward. And if convictions come, the consequences will be severe in ways that extend far beyond any record deal dispute. Lives are at stake. Freedoms are at stake. And for the people allegedly involved, no amount of music industry frustration will undo what comes next if a jury decides against them. But behind that criminal case, the conversation Asian Doll has cracked open is one that does not go away when the court proceedings end. It is a conversation about what happens when powerful labels sign young artists from the streets and use that power imbalance to hold them in place. It is a conversation about who gets to decide when a contract is fair and who gets left with no options when it is not. And it is a conversation that hip-hop culture, for all its honesty about so many other things, has consistently struggled to have openly and completely. Asian Doll decided to have it anyway. With her name attached. With her history attached. And with the kind of energy that makes very clear she does not particularly care who is uncomfortable with what she had to say. The story is still unfolding. The case is still developing. And somewhere in the middle of all of it, a 19-year-old girl who once signed the worst deal of her life is now a grown woman standing in public and making sure people understand exactly what that world looked like from the inside. That is not nothing. That is everything.